PK King, and welcome back to another episode of Animated Movesets. Yeah, that's right, I found a name, and in this episode we're taking a look at the MaskedMan from Mother 3, or better known as Claus or Claus. I don't know, people kind of pronounce it what way you want to. I say, what do I say? I kind of forgot now. I like Claus because like Claus sounds like Santa Claus or like Bear Claus, like that's just weird. So I say Claus. If that bothers you, I'm sorry. And I don't even know if the announcer would say Claus or would say MaskedMan, but I'll get more into that later. So obviously I love Earthbound, I love Mother, I'm named PK King for a reason. That's where the PK comes from. So I kind of just had to do this eventually. It's Mother's 30th anniversary. We want to get Mother 3 localized. Like, come on, y'all always talk about Nintendo, you guys always talk about Porky. No one ever gives love to the MaskedMan. Also, just kind of want to point out, I was kind of going through a theme, like I did 3 knights and then I did a bard, and I'm PK King. So if anything, he's like the PK. Like we have the whole kingdom plus the PK. Like, I don't know, this wasn't intentional, but it's working. Now, if I'm being honest, at first I didn't think I had too much to go off of. I mean, he has an arm cannon, he has a plasma sword, he has wings. Like that seems like a good amount to go off of, but in actual game he doesn't really do too much when it comes to fighting. I mean, he's definitely a threat, but at the same time there wasn't any much like specific moves to go off of. And if I'm honest, that was liberating as hell. Like normally I try to incorporate as much as I can about the character, but because there wasn't that much to incorporate, I kind of had to make stuff up on the fly, and I feel like it made a better moveset overall. But before I get into that moveset, I kind of want to get some basic stuff out of the way just so I don't have to repeat myself. If you don't know anything about the MaskedMan, I'm gonna have to spoil a little bit. I mean, you probably already know, and the game's not even out in America, so I sound like you're gonna find out anytime soon. The MaskedMan is Lucas's twin brother turned half robot, basically. That's the most I'm gonna give you. His real name's Claus, but he's known as the MaskedMan because he normally wears a mask. In this, I didn't draw him with the mask. I felt like that took away some of the character part of Claus. I wanted to show that it was more of an in-between state, like after the game, where he still has the powers, he's just learning how to use them as like a normal human boy, you know what I mean? What I mean is, I wanted the personality of Claus, but I wanted the moveset of the MaskedMan, because if it was just Claus, what he's gonna do, push you? And if it was just the MaskedMan, he wouldn't like be happy or smile or laugh or do anything. And in Smash, that's just not gonna fly. All the characters are super expressive, so that's what I kind of mean by an in-between. Oop, I hit something. That's what I kind of mean by an in-between state of the two. Also, I felt like drawing hair was cooler instead of a helmet. I just looked cooler with animations, I'm sorry. Anyways, let's get into the attributes about the character. And if I sound weird or if I'm sniffling, I just woke up and I think I'm sick, and that sucks, but I need to do this, so I'm sorry. Okay, so when it comes to gameplay, just after reviewing his moveset, he should probably be pretty light, because otherwise he'd be pretty hard to kill. So let's just say he's a light fighter. With that comes pretty fast speed and pretty good air mobility with the wings. Again, they're not actual wings if you didn't know, they're just jetpacks that look like wings, but I still think they'd give him good like air mobility and things like that. Speaking of air, he has 3 jumps, but he doesn't have a wall jump or like a crawl or like wall cling or anything like that. Now obviously on the GBA they couldn't really give across the whole design, so really his design is kind of up to date. I've seen so many different artists take this so many different ways. Some keep his old shirt under his jacket, some do his hair a different way, some put freckles, some have like green eyes, some have different eyes. There's so many different ways. And this is just the way that I decided to do it. I wanted to simplify it for animation, but I also wanted to just kind of keep it concise, and I don't know, I wanted to kind of balance the two, but I wasn't gonna like make the jacket unzip and show the striped shirt, because I was just, I didn't want to do that. You get it. So I hope you guys like the way he kind of looks, but I feel like you guys care about the way he plays a bit more, so let's finally get in the moveset. For his jab, he takes out a small knife and swings it back and forth a lot before ending with his plasma sword. I'm gonna call it plasma sword because I don't know if it's lightning or I'm gonna say plasma. This is in reference to the beginning of the game where he gets a knife to go do something. So I wanted to incorporate the knife a little bit. For his up tilt, he scoops up with his wings behind him and brings you up into the sky. That's going to be a common theme. He wants you in the sky, but the hitbox is behind him, so you're going to have to be in front, or they're going to have to be behind you or on top of you in order for this to really hit. Side tilt is just kind of a bash with the arm cannon. I mean, come on, this is a metal arm cannon, that has to hurt. This is kind of referencing an unused cutscene where Claus pushes Lucas on the ground. It was originally gonna be more of a push, but that didn't have the same impact. I wanted this to kind of kill a bit more on the ground, so I made it a bit stronger. His down tilt is just a pretty fast flurry of kicks. It's just kind of like Lucas and Ness's. I kind of took some stuff from them just so he kind of fit in with the trio, but Ness's kind of just pokes forward and Lucas's kind of just like scoops around, so Claus just kind of scoops the other way around. Dash attack is taken straight from when he initiates battle. He runs up to you and jumps down with his sword like that. It's kind of like Link's dash attack basically, and I think Heroes too, but it's just a run up and just stab with lots of end lag. Not the best move. Being Lucas's brother, he also knows PK Love, that's also his up smash. It's the same thing as Lucas's, but imagine it being more tall and narrow rather than wide. Like if this is Lucas's, this is Claus, like that's kind of what I'm feeling. In the game, he pulls the needles with one arm instead of the two that Lucas does, so I feel like that'd give it a little bit more verticality. And yeah, think of it like Palutena's, but I don't know if it goes that high. His forward smash is a charge shot. This is basically if Mega Man's forward smash was angled down a bit, like Snake's, I guess. I'd imagine if you're on the ledge, it kind of shoots off the ledge like Villager's bowling ball, things like that. But I got this from the actual battle in the games. I just kind of took the animation in the battle and tried to make it like an actual thing. It is one of his more like basic moves that he does a lot in battle, so I kind of had to put it somewhere, and I feel like this is a pretty good area. Down smash. Okay, so MaskedMan is kind of the commander of the pig mask army, so I wanted to incorporate them somehow. I didn't really know how, and it's a big like it's a whole new entity, it's a whole new thing, so I was like, okay, they can't like be the side B. So the down smash, he kind of shoots them out to the side and they charge forward and land real quick. Same thing with the forward smash, they'd like jump off the stage like Pikmin, you know. I guess this is Olamar's down smash. I didn't even think about that, but they're huge. So that's one thing, and I want to say his hand might have a hitbox too. I don't know, that'd just be kind of funny. I just thought of that right now. Okay, onto the aerials. This is probably the most important part of this kit, so listen up. His neutral aerial is a multi-hit spin that ends with a big kick, a little kick, not a big kick. It's a neutral air. I don't know what you want. I don't know really what this sword is. It seems like it's electric, but also seems like kind of plasma gooiness. So I just was like, okay, what if it just erupted? Like, what if it just, and you know? So that's what the up air is. It just kind of erupts and it hurts you. It goes at a little angle. It's like a little bit, it's a little up, it's a little forward too. So you gotta kind of angle it, but it's a pretty strong move. While it's charging up for the big eruption, it will be a multi-hit hitbox, so kind of like Corn Side Smash, you know, it's like a multi-hit, and then it has the big hit at the end, so those multiple hits will drag you kind of upwards towards the sword, just so it gives you a little bit more range to work with if you don't like perfectly time your everything. Forward air is basically Link's forward air. I like taking stuff from Link, I'm saying. I don't know, maybe I should start playing Link. This is forward air, it's a 2-swipe boop boop, really quick. Kind of like your drag forwardy move. It does kind of bring you forward with that momentum, so it's kind of a cool move to keep you in the air. Multi-hit, yeah, you get it. His back air is basically his up tilt, but in the sky. It's the same kind of scoop thing, but brings you more forward rather than up. It gives you in the perfect position for some of his specials, and also his up air. It's not going to do too much damage. I don't even know if it's a multi-hit, but it's just kind of like a little quick swipe and brings you forward in front of him. His down air is beautiful. It's just a big jetpack thrust. It kind of bounces and pushes it in the air a little bit, but the main thing is the big explosion from his jetpack, just like exploding the fire, shoots down. It's a big hitbox, it's a big spike, it's a lasting hitbox. It's a pretty dang good move if I do say so myself. I would say use it to recover, but it is pretty laggy, so use at your own risk. Alright, special moves, here's the fun part. His neutral B is a shield breaker move. Now, I had to do this because this is one of his like canon moves that he actually uses a lot in game. It instantly like breaks your shield and it's exactly what it sounds like. Think of Marth's, but with instead of like stabbing his sword forward that much, he kind of shoots a beam that goes that far. It's about the same distance, maybe a little longer, but instead it's a projectile and it's a lot wider. Not that the width really helps that much. I don't think it would clip platforms, but you get the idea. It's still a pretty slow startup, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to charge it or not. I don't think so. I think you're just gonna swoop it up, and that's just how it is. But yeah, the projectile breaks your shield, the actual sword hits your shield. Maybe it's like a multi-hit and it has to kind of hit it twice. I don't know, but obviously you can always parry it and things like that, so it's not the biggest threat. But yeah, it will shatter your shield. Side B is definitely my favorite move and the one I've been most excited about. So side B is like thunder, lightning, PK thunder, I don't know, but basically he does a little hand motion and you get a little like reticle, right? You can move this horizontally from wherever Claus is. You can't move it up, you can't move it down, and if you're falling, it falls with you. Wherever you put it, when you let go of the B button, he'll swipe down and thunder will strike that area. It's basically Pikachu's down B if you could move where the thunder lands. Now, obviously, pretty good move. You can put a wall of thunder anywhere you want, but this will have crazy end lag, crazy startup. It's very slow like reticle. You can air dodge through it. It's not that crazy big of a threat, and if you go under it then you're fine. So he really can't edge guard you too much. He can't drop it down there. But I really had to do this. That's kind of his main thing in the game, thunder. That's the one consistent thing. And usually the thunder's portrayed like more horizontally, like coming from his sword. I don't know, I didn't want it to just be a horizontal hitbox. I like this idea a lot, but I thought it was a bit cooler. And there are parts of the game where he does this hand motion and thunder strikes that area. So that's what I'm referencing, and that's what this move is. Also, maybe for shits and giggles, if you hit it right on the reticle, it could spike. I don't know, maybe that's just a sweet spot. I don't know, this is just me pulling out stuff. That'd be cool though. His down B, he pull out the little bomb from his cannon arm thing. I don't know the logistics of this, but in the game, he just kind of takes it out of his pocket. I didn't want to animate that. I thought it'd be cooler if his cannon opens up and it pops out. Basically, it's a little bomb. It's kind of squishy, just kind of bounces around for a second. Then when it starts flashing yellow, that means it's about to explode, and then it explodes because it's a bomb. This is from like pretty early on when you kind of first start to meet MaskedMan. He uses this to blow up blow up his way and things like that. I don't think he uses it too much after that, but this is where I'm getting that from. If you hold it, it would probably go a bit higher up and maybe the bomb will take longer to explode, but even if you run into it or you hit someone into it, it's not gonna explode until the time says it's gonna explode. So you're gonna have to time your stuff pretty well. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to sit down for a second, because up B, this is gonna take a minute. His up B is basically, let's say like a command grab up B, like Captain Falcon's and like Ganondorf's. Except you can pick which direction to launch your opponent in. So think of Diddy Kon's side B, you know, if you land on it, you latch onto them, and you could bounce off of them, you can push them forward and all that different stuff. It's the same idea. For his up B, he kind of dives forward. It's a pretty forward recovery, not very upward recovery. And if he grabs someone, he holds on to them for a sec. If you don't do anything, he'll just let go. But if you press the direction, he does different kinds of throws. And you're probably thinking, hey, PK, you didn't go over grabs and throws. Did you forget it? No, I totally didn't forget it. Maybe I did, but not really. I'll get more into that after the moveset. Stick around. But these will also be his grabs. So for his normal grab, he'll grab you normally and pummel you, maybe like hit you with the sword, like just elbow you, something like that. And then he'll do these different throws. So all these throws from his command grab up B are the same throws that he would do if he grabs you and then throws you. Okay, so let me go over them. Forward throw is a kick. It's basically Link's forward throw. Again, Link, thank you. Back throw, he kind of throws you backwards and like hits you with the tip of his wings. I don't know the logistics of the wings, if they could really turn it and go pointy like that, but I wanted it to be pointy, not just clap like horns. So it's more of a stabbing motion rather than a clapping motion. His upwards throw is the same thing as his up air, except he also uses his rocket gun arm thing. Rocket gun, where did I get rocket? He also uses his arm cannon to launch you up as well. That's what the little blue is. I thought the blue, white, and yellow looked cool together, so I just kind of threw that in with it. And then for his down throw, it's just a fucking like suplex, dude. He'll grab you, go flip backwards, and then land like that. Like, I don't know, I thought that was cool. I thought that was dope. I thought that kind of fit his kind of dirty fighter character. And I just like, come on, he kind of goes up in the air and shoots like with his jetpack going super fast down. Like, that's just dope. And yes, you could suicide with this. If someone tries to edgeguard you and they up you uppy and you grab them off the stage, you can just bye, we're both gone. Like obviously if you land on a stage, you'll just both kind of bounce off. The opponent will fly a lot further than you. Obviously you won't fly too far, but after all these throws he does go into free fall. He can't forward throw you and then side B or something like that. No, after he does any throw he goes into free fall, and that's what the flailing animation is. Last but not least, his final smash is Intense Bolt of Lightning. I'm gonna try to explain this with the least spoily amount as possible, but basically it's a cutscene final smash like all the ones in Smash right now. He does the big horizontal bolt of lightning like I was mentioning earlier, forward, and like kind of imagine Heroes but just like forward, and then you get thrown into a cutscene. In this final smash he kind of reenacts the events of his boss battle, the ending of that, the very ending of the game. Let's just say he's crying while doing it. The only difference this time is no one's wearing a Franklin badge. So he does a big intense bolt of lightning, you know the name, and just shoots it at you when you get hurt, and that's kind of it. It's a little anticlimactic now that I think about it a bit more, but it's strong and pretty. Okay, all the moves are done. Let's start talking about the extra cool stuff. For his taunts, one of them will be putting on his helmet for a second, just because I know y'all want to see him in his helmet, so he'll do that for his taunt. His second one, he looks around like he heard something, you know, just kind of suspicious. And his last one, he does his pose from his battle. His entrance animation, the pigs kind of roll out a red carpet for him as he walks on, like you saw in the intro. I think the pigmen would like come from their like helicopter plane and then fly away when the announcer says go, you know. For his victory animations, he'd pull the needle for one of them, just like how Lucas has one where he pulls the needle. He'd fly away on his jetpack because that just kind of looks cool. And the last one, he'd like enter on a plane, kind of like he does in one of the cutscenes when he's like on the plane. I'm thinking of something like that. Alright, and now time for his ults, right? So you have the normal one that's just regular, just how he looks. We have one that is kind of him in his actual like colors and Klaus's colors, you know, the blue and yellow stripes. We have one that's basically representing Lucas in his color scheme. And we have this one, which is my favorite. It's kind of based off all the different like pig henchmen. They're all like white and pink, so I kind of went with that kind of milky color scheme. We also have one with his helmet because again, I know y'all want one with his helmet. Don't expect me to animate a whole moveset with his helmet on. That's not happening. This is just for the icon picture or whatever. That's what you're getting, sorry. This color scheme is straight up from Porky, kind of like his boss, kind of the main villain of the game. This one's based off Hinawa, his mother. I feel like that's all that really needs to be said. And then this one is from an unused asset in the game where he was represented with like glowing white eyes. I just thought that was cool, so put that in as a costume. For his stage, this isn't my proudest stage that I've made on this channel, but it's from his boss fight with the final needle in the middle. It's all purple, there's thunder happening everywhere, it's pretty dark and cool. I wanted to make it a little unique in some way, so I made it kind of tilt a little bit slightly. I know just saying the word like tilt in the stage is very bad, and I know a lot of you guys are screaming, okay, but it's not that big of, actually no, it's not a good stage, don't plan it, but it's something unique. Otherwise it'd just be FD, and like come on, really? I don't really have any like Mii costumes for him because like all the other stuff is already in Smash, really. If anything, I was thinking he himself could be a Mii gunner. You know, we got Sans as a Mii gunner. I feel like Claus would also work as a Mii gunner better than a swordsman in my opinion, but that's kind of it. For his Kirby hat, Kirby would just have like his kind of face, his eyes, and his hair, and Kirby would get the shield breaker move. Pretty cool. I'm not gonna give him any spirits like I did last episode just because there are already mother spirits. And this dude, actually, I'm just remembering this right now, so I totally forgot your name, but I'll put you on screen. He made an amazing video on other Mother 3 like spirits that he would put in the game, so if you really want to know, check out that video. I just remembered that video existed right now. I hope I can find it. Oh my god, that was such a good video. And the last kind of bit I want to say is his classic mode. Obviously each character has like their own classic mode, and I think for this it would be masked foes, other characters that wear a mask. So you'd have like Lucina, because Lucina puts on that mask sometimes. You have Joker, he has the whole thing with the mask, like Samus, Dark Samus, they wear like the helmet things. Young Link kind of wears the mask from like, you know, Majora's Mask, like, so I thought that was like close enough. And then you have Meta Knight, because obviously like Meta Knight wears a mask. Now before I go to the outro, I have a little bit of an announcement to make. If you don't know, there's this pretty popular game called Rivals of Aether. It's basically Smash but like pixelated and a lot more fast paced and just a lot more I don't know, it's a lot more interesting right now to me, in my opinion. I've been getting into it a lot recently, and recently they added in a workshop where it basically helps you mod the game. You can put in your own characters, your own buddies, soon your own stages, and things like that. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been animating movesets for how long? So being able to finally play as them sounds amazing. So basically what I'm trying to say is I want to put MaskedMan into Rivals of Aether. I've already started, I've already gotten some of the basic movements down, but I want your guys' help. I'm gonna start live streaming myself putting him into actual Rivals of Aether, and then after we're done with MaskedMan, I'll put the Bard, I'll put Hollow Knight, I'll put Specter Knight, I'll put Plague Knight, I'll put all the characters that I've animated into Rivals of Aether, along with all the characters that I animate after MaskedMan. Of course, if you want to play as these characters, you'll have to wait for me to finish them, and then you'll have to buy the game for I think $15 on Steam. But besides that, I think this is just such a cool opportunity to be able to actually play these characters that I've worked so hard on, and I feel like my animations aren't really going to waste. After one video, I can actually play as those animations, and it's like a dream come true for me, guys. Like, this is so freaking cool. So I really hope you guys can make it out to live streams. I'll put the date on screen right now because I don't really know yet. At least that will be like the first initial live stream, but then I'll just keep doing live streams after that, and after that, and that. They'll all be on YouTube, not Twitch. I don't trust Twitch, but I do think it would be very fun. And after this, obviously I'm still going to continue adding like indie characters and smaller characters into Smash. Like this series, it's not going anywhere, but I do want to make a Rivals kind of OC, an original character that could fit into that Rivals world. And I'm gonna start a series where I slowly make one of those characters alongside me putting MaskedMan into the game as well. So obviously MaskedMan should be there first, but I just want to let you know that I really am excited about this whole workshop thing, and I want to have more of that in my channel. So I hope that's cool with y'all, and I'm personally really excited. And not even to mention, we're almost at 400 subscribers. Probably by the time this video is out, we'll be at 400. Hollow Knight video hit 10k. Like, hello? Like, 10k, like 10, like that's a lot. That's so cool. That is. And if you don't know, I do have a moveset making series with some other YouTubers called Ready Moveset Go. It's on Room 100's channel. Link will always be in the description. It's kind of like a podcast where we talk, me, Room 100, Pizza Dude, Man Guy, Nintendex, and we're gonna have some new guests in the next couple episodes where we just talk about different movesets with different subjects. The first time it was a Pokemon from Gen 5. This time it's a spear user. So check that out. New episodes coming, like, I don't know, monthly. We'll see how that kind of goes. But if you like this whole moveset creation process, I'd recommend checking that out. But honestly, besides that, I think that's kind of it for this video. This video took a bit long, and that's just because I've used a lot of that time on that pit crew video that was super long to make. So check out that pit crew video if you haven't checked it out. It's basically a me maker but with my art style, so check that out. That took a very long time to make, but that, and I was playing around with the Rivals thing to make sure that this is actually possible and make sure I could actually feasibly do this, and I think I can. So yeah, please come out to the live stream and come out to all the live streams after that. And I don't know, I want to do face cam too, so I guess that'd be like a face reveal. Ooh, I mean, so if you want to see my face, it won't be that hard if you wanted to try to find it. But I mean, I don't show it on this channel, so maybe that's your drive. Now you want to come, right? You want to see this stupid face. I won't keep you here any longer. Tell me what you think about this moveset. Tell me how you like it. Tell me how you hate it. All that good stuff. Which alt is your favorite? What you think about the moves, balancing, and stuff like that. Because this character is actually going to become playable. I want to make sure he's viable, and I want to make sure he's balanced. So if you think anything's broken or anything's too underwhelming, let me know. Please, 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 please. And that's all I have to say. So, so I'll see you guys in the live streams or on this channel. Let that be tomorrow, next week, next month, sometime in the future. I don't know, but I love you, and I'll see you eventually.